Last weekend I had a great opportunity. My wife and I took our 2 kids to a football game. You could probably gather which football game it was, but it was a professional game, and fans were screaming everywhere, being in touch with, I guess, their love for the team. And I was out there yelling too. I'm a pretty good football fan. But today I decided to take my craft of taking pictures to a local zoo. And the idea is, if I can be a fan for a team of men playing football, surely I can take my profession and show how I'm also a fan of the Creator and what He's created. But it's going to require me being able to get close to some things, and when I can't get close, maybe even doing the best I can with my various lenses that I've once talked about. The long lens allows me to get pretty close to something that appears to be far away, like the giraffe. Beautiful animal, but so tall and so long that they keep them in a distance in a pen. Every now and then you can get close to them, but if they're in the distance, my long lens will let me get there. It's crazy how you need a long lens, but it's important to have the wide lens. If I have it my way, the giraffe will get close enough and we'll have a chance to feed him or watch some other people feed him. Then I have my wide lens, which will allow me to get real close and personal. Kind of like what we hope to do in worship. It's very easy to stand in the distance and watch something from afar, or maybe even watch some other people from afar. But the moment we decide to get close and personal, take our wide lens so we can take in everything around us, but yet still just be a few feet away, to take in the vastness of God, but still just be right there in His face, right there in His presence. That's real worship. This may be an opportunity for me to experience God using my craft of photography. Wow. You know what? This is probably better than taking a picture. It's really a good perspective when you're able to get on one of these sky rides. Especially as a photographer, being able to see things that you probably wouldn't be able to see from the ground, see close up. Being able to hear the noise of the water, the birds, the animals, all the natural noise. I'm not sure how I feel as a photographer who also considers himself a follower of Christ, or someone who is constantly trying to walk the walk that Christ walked. I'm not sure how I feel about the term nature or natural. It seems like we give credit to just this arbitrary thing. As a photographer, I'm constantly looking for opportunities to find God. Sometimes my lens can capture that opportunity. Sometimes I'm restricted. Appreciating what God has to do from a wide perspective is probably important as a believer. A lot of times I know as a photographer, when I first started out, I had a very narrow focus. I wasn't really aware of everything around me, and sometimes the great shot was beyond my focal point. It wasn't until I started to widen my perspective that I realized there's a lot of beauty beyond what you typically see. I guess that's important in worship. Being able to have a wide perspective of how you're willing to give your life to the Lord in worship. Sure, on Sundays, that's probably a good opportunity, especially if you have a music ministry that ushers in feelings that you want to associate with the Holy Spirit, or perhaps the content of the music is something that you can identify with. But all in all, a wide perspective will probably take you beyond Sunday. A wide perspective may even take you to what you do day to day. It may even get you to stop for a moment, to look around, to see what you have access to see what is a part of God and what you're a part of. As a photographer, I'm walking around this zoo today, and I'm looking for moments. I'm looking for opportunities to see where God, not nature, where God meets us and where we meet God. Hopefully, I'll capture some great images. But in order for me to really get the true essence of God, I have to take off a narrow focus. I have to widen my focus. And hopefully when it comes to worship, we'll all do that. We'll all figure out Monday through Monday, Sunday through Sunday, how can we broaden our perspectives? It's not just good to have a wide lens when it comes to taking pictures. It's also good to have a wide lens when you're giving of yourself and when you're seeking God.